So, you want a nice gaming PC case, but you only have $100. Is Hyte the answer? Let's talk about it. Here we are back with another case review, analyze. I'm not sure what you want to call it. So we are trying to look at all of the cases that are available under $100. We're going to try to do it. It's probably not possible, but here is the Hyte Y40 case, which is basically a smaller version of the ever popular Y60 case, which was, how much was the Y60? $200? Hyte Y60. Let's see. Yeah, about a little less than $200. Now, the panoramic display, and then they made a Y40, which is the smaller version of the Y60. And I noticed that the Y40 was heavily reviewed. If you look up Hyte Y40 reviews on YouTube, you'll see every popular content creator reviewing that case. I think because they had high hopes for it, but most of the reviews are pretty negative because it's not the Y60, smaller. It's actually designed differently. The power supply is on the bottom now. The curved corner is gone. It's just a regular square case. And it retailed for $150 at the time. And the overall consensus was that it wasn't worth $150, and the airflow was kind of poor. Now, I've never heard of this case before. I've never seen it. I might have seen a couple of accidental reviews of it before, but I'm going into this kind of blind. So the thing is, when I look at the case, I went to the website and I look at the case, something doesn't look right to me. So there's the typical top part has room for 3 fans, or an AIO with 3 fans. It has a side intake with room for 2 120s or 2 140s, I believe. It has a single 120 exit, and then it has a 120 intake. And the case comes with 1 fan for the back with RGB, and it comes with a fan for the bottom, no RGB. And that's for $149. And it doesn't look like anything special to me. It just looks like any other case you would see, those cheap ones on Amazon. But when people were reviewing it, I saw, they did do some kind of extra things to make it more premium, such as when you take off the top part to do the fans, there's a little tray for the screws, so that's a nice touch. The filter fan, or the fan filters on the bottom, slide out sideways, and they're kind of in a locking mechanism thing, which is good. And it's a toolless design too, so the front glass panel just pops off. It's not magnetic, it just kind of pops off. And then the rear one pops off as well. There's a filter on the side panel. There's a filter on the top panel. There's no filter on the back because that's where the air comes out, supposedly. But I happened to receive one. And so I get to actually put hands on it. I don't think there's any case in the world that I would buy for $150, honestly. I mean, it would have to do some pretty amazing things. But the reason why I'm including this in the series of reviewing cases is because I have it, number one. Number two, you can actually now buy this case on the Hyte website for $99 with free shipping. So it is now officially, technically, a case that's under $100 by a penny. So now the question is it worth $100? So let's take a look. The included fans, I guess you could say, is worth $15. One RGB, one not. So now it's kind of an $85 case. We have seen cases, other cases, that you can buy like this that come with all the fans and RGB, and they're only $60, $70, right? If you count the vertical GPU mounting as about $35, $40, this now becomes a $50 case. With free shipping, that's got to be worth $15. When you start to add up how much everything costs and the construction of it, which is above average, it's actually starting to look like a good deal. I already can say I'm not a fan of the power button being on the bottom. Some people like that. I have big hands, so for me to go down to push the power button is kind of weird. And then if someone was to put this on the ground, which supposedly you're not supposed to do, then you have to reach all the way down there to turn it on. So that is strange. I'm going to switch now to my live view of me looking at the case and show you what I think. I immediately am concerned about the back part because I see the fan is there, but it doesn't cover the out grill, like the grill part. It's a 120. Now, most cases will have the option to go 120 or 140. This one only has a 120 exit. The bottom part is 120, the fan that it comes with, and you can put in a 140 there. But the bottom fan also is not a 4-pin PWM, it's only 3. So that's kind of weird. So it's just kind of there. And then the way the case is designed, the power supply cables actually will be pointing at the fan. So I'm not sure how much airflow you can get. And some people were saying also that the air to get to the GPU is limited versus the Y60 because the grill part where the air comes up from the fan is only a portion, whereas in the Y60 the grills were all the way through. So let's take a look at the hands-on and then we'll have final thoughts at the end. So here is the case in person, and I put it sideways so we could see it easier, but this is my concern. See, why is there a hole here? Look, hole. So, I mean, what's the point of the filters if the air is going to come in from here? But, as I said, maybe the air is coming out. I haven't really checked to see if if there's enough air blowing this way to come out. And I have this concern because, first of all, I'm a sane, normal person, and who wants a big hole in the back of their case? But number two, I actually worked on a gaming PC that was about two years old or so, and it had a big hole like this because the panel was missing. And what ended up happening is the air was coming in and it was going into the AIO on top. It was a 300 millimeter one, and it was just completely caked with dust. So that's why I don't know. Out of the reviews that I watched, nobody said, hey, there's a big hole in the back. Hello. I don't get it. The other thing that Steve was saying was the the cool toolless design here, which lets you just pop it off without screws. If you pick up the computer, this is a very heavy case. If you pick it up, you might accidentally pop this off if you're not careful. So you have to be really careful about that, or put, I don't know, some tape or something here. They should have at least had the option to put a screw here, just like one. But I don't know, it is, I mean, the quality is, it's very thick. This is a very heavy case. And then we have the bottom. There's the filters. So these slide out somehow. Wait, oh, this one goes that way. There we go. So that's, let's see the fan. Oh, that's the power supply, and then this is the, oh, that one goes the other way. And there's a little space for the feet, not a lot. These are nice. I mean, I like that. They're not the cheap ones, like when they barely go in there and they're not secure. These are locked in there pretty good. So let's look at the inside. So here's the inside, and see what I'm saying? These fans, let's say these fans were kicking on, you know, full blast. They're gonna suck air from right here where there's no filter. So that's not good. And oh, the other thing here, that's kind of weird. So the radiator is actually visible here. Now some cases actually have something that covers this, but it's like right there. So, I mean, I don't know what's the point of it being a clear case when you just look at the radiator all the time and it's right in the front. So I probably would not do it this way. I would probably, most people were saying they would rather just have the AIO up here and then just have fans there so it's not so thick. And then you can fit pretty much any GPU in here. So that's good. And then the grills, the airflow to the GPU is good. Steve was saying he wanted the grill back here, but not really, because the air is coming in from this side. So it's gonna go that way. And then we go here. And here's the top. So there's the filter. This backside panel is like this too. It's just sort of a mesh. It's a very fine mesh, which is good. But I can guarantee you that this will become clogged at some point. And there's really no way to clean it. You just have to, I don't know, wash it out or something. Because, I don't know. Well, the air is blowing, wait a minute. Okay, I'm trying to figure this out. So the air comes in from here and goes out there. I guess it's going, well, that's not, I guess, well, okay, the heat from here is rising, right? So that's gonna come out that way. The heat from here, from the heat exchanger, the AIO, is rising, so it's gonna go, okay. Sorry, I had a brain fart there. Like, why is the air coming in and going out at the same time? So the air is gonna come up here, go out there, come up here, go out there. This air will go that way and that way. But how, where is the, So where's the air coming from for the GPU besides this? I mean, there's airflow coming in from here, but there's not that big of a space. And it just has the one little fan right here. Okay, so there's the bottom fan. But you can fit a 140 in here. So I think what I'm gonna do is put a 140 in here. I think I'm just gonna seal this with something. And then this, the holes, I don't know. There's no real way to fix that unless you 3D print something. But yeah, that's the Hyte Y40 case. 99 bucks with free shipping. It's kind of worth it, and it's kind of not. Yeah, the air is going to come in from right here, I guarantee you. This fan is going to suck in air right from here. These aren't even, they're very flimsy. All right, well, that's the case. Let me know what you think. I'm going to do some modifications to this and see if I can make it better. We'll see you next time. So final thoughts. I think that I originally had the grade as a C plus, sort of. It's pretty good, but there's so many different weird things that it's not quite that good. But now that I've had more time with it and more time to think about it, you really can't, if you look at the quality of the construction and the parts that are included with the free shipping and everything in this particular case, you kind of can't duplicate that for $100. So I'm going to change it to a B minus. I'm still concerned about the holes in the back. There's not much you can do there. Most people don't even care. And it's, it looks nice from a distance. Also, the only thing that bugs me is when the computer is asleep, the LED on the power button blinks constantly and it never turns off. So I wish there was a way to disable that, because it's just blinking, and let's say you leave it to sleep overnight, you just have this constant blinking in your room if you have it in your bedroom. But yeah, I did end up putting a 140 millimeter fan in the bottom. And I'm still concerned that the GPU does not get enough air. But in testing, the GPU doesn't get hot. So it's kind of a part where it doesn't matter. If it's not hot, apparently it's getting enough airflow from that fan. Someone did actually remove the bottom fan and the temperatures were the same. So the bottom fan just kind of doesn't really do anything. I have my bigger fan in there, and that just makes me feel better. Another reason why I have it rated higher, in this particular case, the temperatures of the CPU and GPU under load are cooler with the panel on. Now, that means that the setup is good, because if the setup was not good, the temperatures would actually be hotter with the panel on. So you know that it's doing its job. I was thinking of taking the third fan in the back and flipping it upside down to blow air out, so I wouldn't have to worry about that gap in the top corner. But at the end of the day, it's not that serious. This isn't NASA. And like I said, nobody cares. As long as nothing's overheating and it looks nice, that's what people want. And so I would say it's definitely worth it. Also, now you may not even be able to get this case anymore. So if you can get it still for $99 with free shipping, I would just buy it anyway. Even if you don't use it, just buy it and stick it in the corner, because somebody's going to want it at some point, especially the white one. And just go to the Hyte website. They only have so many in stock. They said when there's no more left, they're not going to bring in any more temporarily because of the tariff. So I would just go grab one, knowing what I know now with the shipping costs and all that, I would say it's definitely worth it. And there's not a lot of other options that I know of yet that are $99 with free shipping. So we'll see you in the next review. We're going to look for any cases that are $100 or less. Shipping doesn't count. And if you know of any other brands or models that I should look at, let me know, and we'll see if we can try them all. We'll see you soon.